Okay, so I'm Nicole Cosgrove, and I'm a third-year business and sociology student at Trinity College. And this presentation is basically a research proposal that I hope to do next year as part of my dissertation. So I'd like to start off, I put a few photos up. Some of you may recognize these famous entrepreneurs. Sorry to bring up Richard Branson again. But what you might not know is that all of these have a similar characteristic, and that is that they are all actually dyslexic. So my research question is, do dyslexic entrepreneurs follow the metacognitive model of the entrepreneurial mindset? So basically, the purpose of this research is to investigate if dyslexic entrepreneurs have the same entrepreneurial mindset than non-dyslexic entrepreneurs. So this is an area worthy of research because if having dyslexia impacts the way an entrepreneur makes a decision or runs a business, then existing managerial theories may need to be adapted in order to take into account the impact of dyslexia on the entrepreneur. I'm going to ignore the clicker now. So this is the model I've taken from Haney et al. And this provides a lens for examining the actions of entrepreneurs. So to start from the basic, metacognitive is the knowledge about how and when to use particular strategies for learning or problem solving. So this model was developed to look at various processes and stages of decision-making that the entrepreneur might take in, whether it's running a business or starting a business or general decision-making. So as part of my dissertation, I want to take this model one step further. And I want to look at whether dyslexic entrepreneurs have followed these same patterns and step-by-step processes. So throughout my literature review, I found that there is a consensus that there are similarities between dyslexia and entrepreneurship. Research indicates that there may be more dyslexic entrepreneurs than in any other managerial position. So why is this, you may ask? Some people have actually put forward the reason being as coping mechanisms. So let's not even look at dyslexia, but in any learning difficulty you would have to come up with different mechanisms in order to get through day-to-day, whether that's school or any other activity. So in business, dyslexia forces you to make adaptations in order to be successful. So Richard Branson has actually spoken a lot about how dyslexia forces him to delegate well. So he knows that he has weaknesses in terms of writing, spelling, reading, or any kind of documentation type things. So he's aware of this problem. And he knows that he still needs to do that in business. So he delegates these jobs to people who may not be dyslexic and may have strengths in these type of areas. And he's okay with that, which proves how successful Virgin is. Another great example of coping mechanisms for dyslexic is they're not afraid to fail. Dyslexics, whether it's in school or any other extracurricular activities, have failed before, whether it's in tests or maybe it's a business venture. They've failed. And they're okay with that. They've experienced it, so now they're not afraid of this. So not being afraid of failure helps in a business setting and allows for greater risk-taking and a greater understanding of it's okay to fail, which helps in a business setting. And lastly, a coping mechanisms could be that dyslexia may result in slower reading times. So consider in a business organization where there is vast amount of documents and reading to be done in order to survive even just day-to-day activities. So this forces the dyslexic entrepreneur to read fast and only draw out the most important parts of their documentation, and that can be very useful in a business setting. However, the research into this area is still hugely in its infancy. There's been vast amount of research in both entrepreneurship and dyslexia, but the bridge between them both has not actually been made yet. So my methodology that I propose would be surveys and interviews. So initially, I would have a survey to ascertain suitability. So we'd send surveys out to entrepreneurs and find out what type of entrepreneurs they are, whether this is their first-time venture or are they a serial entrepreneur, because it does make a huge difference. And then these surveys will then be followed by semi-structured interviews. And this will allow me the opportunity to receive in-depth information on why entrepreneurs chose this occupation and how they felt dyslexia impacted, or maybe it didn't, their business decisions. And then just in conclusion, the main objective of this research is to contribute to the knowledge of how dyslexia can inhibit or assist entrepreneurial activity. And through the application of the framework that I've discussed earlier, this research seeks to address the gap in the literature and to answer my research question of, do dyslexics entrepreneurs follow the metacognitive model of the entrepreneurial mindset? Thank you.